Hi, excuse me. Uh,
Hi.
do you, sorry, I guess I should ask it. Do you know what anime is?
You know, there comes a time in every man's life where he wants to lay with a woman of his caliber, or above, or below, where they can experience a bond tied together like a spiritual bond. I believe it's called empathy. What I crave is empathy and sex with a woman. Now, I've been a very lucky man. We've been engaged for quite some time because nobody will have a wedding for us. And you see, I made an agreement some time ago that her and I would not have premarital sex. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you'll know that we have cuddled before, but it never went past that. Previously in this video, I mentioned that there comes a time in every man's life where he would like to lay with a woman, and that time for me is now. So I've talked it over with Himari, and she's told me that I'm allowed one hall pass with a real 3D woman. I made a Tinder profile some time ago, back in 2018. I met a few interesting people with this profile. I met one woman who wanted me to stab her. She legitimately wanted me to meet up and stab her. I didn't go through with it. Now, in this bio, I obviously state that Konata is my waifu. You see, that was a joke. I was joking. Mari, on the other hand, she is not a joke. This is my goddamn fiance. So I'll be constructing my profile, and I'm going to be upfront and honest about what I want and what I'm searching for. I'd like for everybody to give a big round of applause to Himari for allowing me to experience the touch of another woman, which will soon occur. I had a lot to think about before making my online dating profile. One of the first rules of online dating is don't be black. So I tried bleaching my skin with Elmer's glue, but I realized that was going to take too long. I hired a professional photographer for 8 seconds to take pictures of me for my profile, and I included some recent photos with flattering angles to bring all the women to my yard. I may not have a milkshake, but I do have milk. I spent a lot of time constructing my bio. I wanted to recreate my old profile, but with an update for Himari, so I settled on the following. I made sure to use all the available characters. I then added a picture of a random person's IQ test result. I filled out the remaining information as honestly as possible. I am 6 feet tall, making me a bit of a fake cell, but I'm also balding. God always finds a way. I specified that I was looking for a long-term partner, which is not true, but I figured I might attract more women this way. I was hoping to channel Andrew Tate both physically and spiritually. Tinder kept urging me to include prompts, reminding me that one of the best ways to get to know somebody is via one-sentence responses to trivial questions, so I added a few of those too. I got 1 like pretty quickly, and then the next day I got 4 more. I sent out charming first messages to all of these dames, a couple of which I assumed to be bots, as they were not verified and only had a couple pictures. One broad in particular entertained my inquiry, to which I gave a heartfelt response and a follow-up question to continue the conversation. And after this first batch of matches, the likes completely disappeared. It was hard for me to tell whether post-pandemic women had simply become less receptive to an eccentric man like me, or if the Tinder algorithm had grown to only favor Chad. So what do I, as a well-meaning man with a waifu, do in this social climate? Well, I give Tinder my money, of course. Why buy something that might actually make me happy when I could instead fund the corporation responsible for commodifying relationships? I genuinely thought that becoming a paid member would boost me in the algorithm. It did not. I guess I was supposed to buy a boost, but I'm retarded. So I decided to at least take advantage of the unlimited passport system. First, I went to New York, where I got a few likes, including this African woman who was catfishing. I did not message her, but I wish her the best. I then went to the countries where you go when you're 45 and you get a bonus check and you hate your wife. I didn't have much luck in these locations either, only gathering 2 more matches, neither of which I sent a message as I felt rather defeated at this point. I asked ChatGPT to write me a bio, and it actually wrote a pretty decent one. Inspired by ChatGPT's bio, I did tone mine down a bit to be more friendly, but I still couldn't find any success. In order to test the state of my account, I figured it was time to indulge in an age-old internet practice responsible for the incelification of thousands of young men, that being Chad fishing. Some people may question the morality of using another person's pictures on Tinder without their permission, and they may have a point. I transformed this Instagram model into a waifuist, and in doing so, I felt like I was making a huge mistake. It would be an understatement to say I felt insecure seeing Himari pose next to this man. So much so that I almost considered using a different anime girl. But in the act of Chadfishing, I wanted to stay true to myself in all ways except physical, and that meant Himari was my waifu. Still, the way she admired his muscles and hair made me wary. She told me not to worry about it though. Much to my surprise, as soon as I was about to begin Chadfishing, the miner got back to me. Not wanting to leave her hanging, I spent some time deliberating with Himari and responded responded to her 2 days later. At this point, I didn't want to start chadfishing, as I didn't want this woman to believe I was trying to trick her. So I saved the chadfish photos, letting them marinate on my hard drive for future use. In the meantime, I asked Reddit to give my profile a review in case there were any other improvements to be had. 2 of the responses provided no insight, and one even insulted my intelligence despite the IQ picture. Did they know that that wasn't really my IQ? I began to fear that I wasn't fooling anybody. One comment gave real actionable advice, so I switched around my pictures a bit. Unfortunately, I got banned from the subreddit before I could ask them to review my bio as well. I had an AI bot called Roast review my pictures, and it gave this picture a 3.3 out of 10 and then asked me for money. This made me really mad. After a long day at work and the leftovers from a nice frozen pizza, I came into my room to find Himari under the covers looking at Chad's Instagram. A vicious argument ensued, but we settled the matter by agreeing that I would start going to the gym 6 days a week instead of 3. I tried other dating apps like Bumble and Hinge with minimal results. I even tried BLK, the dating app for black people, and I tried to tailor my bio to each individual app as best as I could. Hinge produced absolutely no results. Despite liking women, I tried Grindr. I figured what I would do is match with men and then ask them if they have any straight female friends they could set me up with. First, I searched how to download Grindr without my fiance finding out, but that made Google assume that I'm gay, which I'm not. I decided to hide the app from the front page of my phone. At this point, I had received a few more matches on Tinder, but none were responding to my messages. None of the guys on Grindr were able to help me, at least not in the ways that I wanted. My hope shrunk and my nihilism grew. Online dating was nothing more than a game of appearance, I thought. Women don't have the ability to read my lustful body language or engage with my charismatic personality. They see my face and make a split-second decision. Nothing else mattered. There was only one thing left to do. The following day, Himari and I were sitting on the couch, figuring out what to watch next. She told me she had to use the restroom, and as fate would have it, she left her phone by my side. I immediately went to her Instagram, where I discovered that she had sent Chad some suggestive pictures of herself. I got really angry, and she explained that she had just never been turned on by a man like that before. I began to worry about my appearance. I began to wonder, what does he have that I don't? Well, a lot. That's the problem. I tried to convince her that I was never actually balding, but rather I was doing a long-form, elaborate Tim Pool cosplay. She said that if that were true, I ought to have made a few $1 million from Russia by now, and that would be equivalent to having hair. For the first time in our relationship, I put my foot down and made her sleep on the couch. I thought this would cause her to respect me more, but it only made her all the more angry. With my relationship in turmoil, I sought out a 3D woman even more. Although I was now an active chadfisher, I knew I'd get nowhere if I wasn't being myself. Perhaps I wasn't looking in the right places. Perhaps I needed to be more direct, and be around people who would be more accepting of me. Perhaps schizophrenic or autistic women were my real target, but I didn't know where to find them. Ah, wait. I set up a profile in a popular Discord dating server detailing my preferences. A man messaged me to ask if I played video games. Clearly, he did not actually engage with my profile. A woman did message me and we got to talking a bit, but it fizzled out after I learned she was a CIA agent. I took it upon myself to message some women directly, picking at random and casting a wide net in hopes of increasing my chances. Ultimately, none bore fruit. I figured that some of them may have suspected me of trying to engage in thoughtful conversation while hiding my true intentions, so I tried to be more direct, but it made no difference. In the absence of Omegle, I tried chitchat.gg, presenting myself to anybody who would take me. Here are some of the conversations I had.
What's up, glasses asshole?
What? Salutations. Salutations. Do you know where the women are on this app? Can you help me find some women? Wake up, nigga.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Salutations.
That's your girlfriend?
Yes. Although I'm looking for another girlfriend if you know where the women here are.
Maybe in supermarkets or something like that.
Ah, like Walmart. After giving it some thought, I realized that this man was right. Online dating in all of its forms had been stacked against men for a long time now. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Black, Grindr, even FetLife were no place for a man like me. As technology consumes our lives more and more, the only logical trajectory for our species is a rebound to reality, and I, Natsu-chan, would be happy to lead that charge. Lost in thought, I had neglected to keep up with my Chad fishing profile, but for some strange reason, it looked like he'd actually been messaging women of his own volition. I couldn't recall sending these messages, but still, they were there. This wasn't actually Chad's profile, right? It was just me controlling him like a puppet for my own social experiment. So then who sent these? Was it Himari using my phone unauthorized? I went to confront her, but she was nowhere to be found, and her suitcase was missing. I tried to convince myself that I didn't know exactly where she had gone, but I could only keep up the facade for so long. Still, for 3 days I waited. I sat at the doorstep like an abandoned puppy, day and night. I left my phone off and the lights on. At some point I thought I saw her lurking around the corner, but I was merely hallucinating. When she did finally come back, she didn't say a word. There was nothing to say. Her satisfied smirk was all I needed to see, paired with an abominable silence. Her pillow, the vessel that carries her soul, was bent more than usual. Her back had been blown out several times. I had lost the game of love. She had personally taken Chad off of the dating market so that she could have him all to herself, and he had chosen her, my fiancée. Who wouldn't, I figured. I chose her, and I have really good taste in women. I tried talking to her. I tried asking her if the hall pass she had given to me was just projection all along, implying that, she was the one who wanted to cheat. She didn't confirm my suspicions, but she did not deny them either. As the man in the relationship, I knew I was to blame for both my mistakes and her mistakes. I should have never introduced her to a man more attractive than me. One could argue that if your woman cheats, she would have cheated anyway, but it's best not to facilitate the process. Himari seemed happier than usual. She cooked and cleaned more than I'd ever asked her to. We still watched TV together on occasion, but I could tell that something was missing. I told her it would only be fair for her to help me cheat too. Surprisingly, she agreed. It kinda seemed like she just didn't really care anymore. I didn't want to venture out into the real world on my own, since I'm pretty scared of talking to women. But I figured that if I had Himari, a beautiful woman by my side, that would serve as social proof that I am worth dating. After all, if I had been able to attract Himari, what else did that say about me? Rich, charismatic, powerful? Pre-selection would surely be in my favor. I had been making the same mistake all this time. I had been looking for a 3D woman in a 2D environment, but it was time to fix that. I marked the day on my calendar and prepared to wander out into the night. Alright, so Himari and I have picked out the mall is our location of choice. I'll be going to a mall about 15 minutes away. I'm pretty excited. Let's do this. About to head out now. Wish me luck. I'm on my way to the mall. I decided to start recording. I'm really excited. I have Himari here with me. You can't see her. I can't film her right now because I'm driving. I wouldn't want to crash the car on my way to get a girlfriend. Because if I did that, I wouldn't want to arrive. I don't think it would look good if I had a car that had recently been in an accident, like there was a dent in it or two. But I don't know. I mean, maybe that would also be a conversation starter. Almost hit something. Alright, salutations everybody. I'm currently in a parking lot at the mall. As you can see, there's a Macy's over there. There's Himari. I'm scouting out and I'm waiting to see if any women gonna come out of that door and maybe I can go talk to them. I'm really nervous. And Himari keeps calling me a pussy. I don't really know what I'm gonna say. I've never really been good at talking to women. Okay. I found somebody. Okay, let's go, Himari. Hi, excuse me.
Hi.
Do you, sorry, I guess I should ask it. Do you know what anime is? At this point, Himari had whispered in my ear that was a horrible opener, and that really threw my nerves for a loop.
You mean like Avatar?
Yeah, it's just, Asian cartoons. So, you might have noticed my pillow here. Do you know what a waifu is?
A what?
Oh, it's like a girl from a cartoon that you really like, or an anime that you really like. So Katara could be a waifu if you know Avatar. This is my waifu. Say hi. she recently told me that that I should try to talk to more real women. So I was wondering if I could get your number, because I was trying to. Are you familiar with like different types of relationships?
I already have a boyfriend. I appreciate you asking though, but I really gotta get home.
Okay, that's fine.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, no problem. I don't think that went very well. I don't know why I don't know why I tried. I guess you're the only one for me. Cool.